back. 21.5 touring round 4.
Race
A main
number
is
3.
coming up next. Speedy is
Race
on
order
1,
is
Hayden on 2, Richard Waihangi
Stephen
3,
Lee,
Jason Helg 4,
Hayden
Michael
Gordon,
Vanderhouse is
Richard
5, Alex Beck
Waihangi,
in 6, Dillinger
Jason Helg,
Rawati is in 7,
Michael
Danny York 8,
Vanderhaas,
Richard Price in 9,
Alex
Robin
Beck,
Upton rounding out to 10.
Dillinger
That is your
Rawati,
starting order for this A
Daniel
main
York,
21.5 heat.
Richard Price,
Unfortunately,
Robin
Anthony
Upton,
Mara, our stalwart of the
Alex
class,
Beck,
isn't here this weekend. He's
Daniel
sorely
York,
missed.
Michael
His
Vanderhaas,
his
Richard Price,
humorous
Richard
styles
Waihangi,
and plenty of
Dillinger
knowledge
Rawati,
around the track is
Hayden
sorely missed
Gordon,
this weekend, giving some other guys
Stephen Lee,
a chance to step up into the
Jason
A
Helg,
main. But still, the class is really well sorted with some heavy hitters in there like Dillinger, Hayden, Speedy, Richard, Michael
Robin
Vanderhaas.
Upton,
Many years of driving skills with that man. Daniel York, also a hard charger. Richard Price in his silently driven Kaio show. Yeah, if you can hear it on the feed, it's whisper quiet. Whisper quiet. All right, so we're just getting these guys to get a few more laps in to warm up their tyres. The day's been a little cool. Levels have been pretty good once the tyres have come up to temperature. So cars are being asked to grid up now, with marshals also asked to go out and get into position. Speedy's moved into his one spot already, doing an extra loop, just trying to keep his tyres warm while Hayden gets up into that second spot. Right, here we go for the countdown now.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
It's a beep beep and away we go. We're off and running now. And Speedy leading the way as he makes his way through the infield for the first time, coming around, put a lap on already. Hayden Gordon in that second spot, closely followed by Richard Waihangi, holding out 3. Jason Helg in the 4 spot. They go down the back straight again in through the complex. Speedy opening up that gap over Hayden. Hayden just drifting back a little bit. Richard Waihangi charging in behind, and Young. There's a good battle opening up already on the further on back between Richard, Jason, Michael, and Daniel York as they're battling away. Richard Price in the 7 spot, holding that down. Robin Upton up into the 8. Alec Beck's in the 9. We go across the stripe. We're first minute down of this one. Speedy leading the way at this stage. Done a 10.10 second lap that time around, showing clean set of heels out in front on his all pink Express. Hayden Gordon in his Yokomo in his familiar blue back, yellow front, fluoro yellow colours that he runs, along with Richard's body shells and Antonio and Dillinger. They all turn out these immaculate shells all of the time for any class they run in. These guys are from a drifting background, so presentation is really important to them. But their cars are always beautifully presented and well set out. Anyway, back to the action. Speedy still leading the way. Hayden in the 2 spot. Richard in the 3. Michael now up into the 4. Daniel into the 5. Jason Helgs dropping down into the 6. Richard Price right on his bumper now as they go across the stripe. It's trying to pick them up where they are. And Daniel and Michael have just gone across the stripe. Sorry, I've lost them. Here they go. Just give me 2. There they go. So, a bit of a coming together there with Daniel and somebody else. He's given the position back, which is good driving. So we're coming up to the halfway stage on this one. Richard showing clean set of heels in that 3 spot, putting pressure on Hayden. Speedy well out in front. Looking at the timing score, we've got an estimated race time for Speedy of around about 29 laps. He looks like he's lapped
After
right
2
up
minutes
until about
30
4th
seconds,
spot at this
the top
stage. So
drivers are Stephen Lee in
Hayden
first
and Richard
place,
are trying their
followed
hardest to
by
stay
Hayden
out in
Gordon in
front.
second place,
Also, just looking at
followed
that
by
timing
Richard
screen there, as
Waihangi
you
in
can see
third
it,
place.
they're so close for their pace. Both looking to do 28 laps, but just depending on where they fall when that last buzzer goes will dictate if they stay on that 28 lap, it's quite close. See, Richard's already dropped off a little bit there. He's looking to do a 27.502. So he's slowed up, obviously dealing with a little bit of traffic. Making his way through there. Speedy goes across the stripe again this time around. Good little battle going on in behind for Hayden, Richard. Robin Upton's in amongst that as well. He's a couple of laps down, but he's still racing hard, keeping it clean. Speedy got a clean set of heels out in front of him. Dillinger also making a move from lower down in the pack where he was beforehand. Bit of a gap now. Speedy's coming around to put a lap on Dillinger as they go across the stripe again. Here goes Hayden. And a gaggle of cars across the stripe, just trying to pick up Speedy. There he goes now. He's just got Richard just ahead of him. Daniel York on his own. He's about to go down a lap to Hayden as well, as we're counting it down into the final minute 15. No real change between the top three from the start. Daniel's now moved his way up into that fourth spot. He's looking to open that over Michael, as Michael's holding down that fifth spot at this stage. No, Jason Helg is up into the 5 spot now. Michael's dropped back a little bit. He must be down in the 6th spot. No, Michael's out. His race is finished. While I was looking for where the other cars are, don't know what's happened there. We'll have to talk to him next time around and see what happened, see if he can recall. All right, so we've got 40 seconds left to run. You guys keeping it nice and tidy now as they're winding it down in the final 30 seconds of this race. Our point score's looking pretty good too, nice and tight at the top for our club points for the year. We'll call that out in a second once this race is finished. Speedy's got it to lose. He's got 19 seconds left to run. He's got a clear lap by the looks of it over Hayden. Just by the virtue of timing, I think he's got a clear
10,
lap.
A7, 6, 5, 4.
All right,
2,
so
1.
Speedy takes
Richard
that one
Waihangi
from
done.
Hayden and Richard.
Price done.
Daniel taking 4 spot.
Dillinger
Jason
Rawari
Helg in the
done.
5. Richard Price holding out
Hayden
6.
Gordon done.
Dillinger
Daniel
Rawari
York done.
in the 7.
Jason Helg done.
Alec Beck in 8. Robin Upton
Alex
in
Beck
9.
done.
And Michael van der Haas
All
rounding
drivers
out
are
our
finished.
10. How does that look for
Stevie Lee
the
done.
points? Speedy's leading the
race
way.
is completed.
395 on top. 382 with Dillinger in 2. Richard Waihangi 380 in 3. Alex Beck's 366 in 4. Jason Helg 364 in 5. Gavin Dawson 357. Robin Upton in the 7 spot 339. And Antonio Nobalages 338 in the 8. Myself in 9 with 328. And Peter Field in 10 with 316. Be right back after this. Stay tuned. And we're back with round 4, A main 4 Super GT coming up next. This has always been happy hunting ground for the Kaya Show crew. In particular, Gavin Dawson, always leading the way
Mark
with his immaculately prepared
Price,
Kaya Show
Bradley
phases.
Stephen Lee.
Running Mercedes-Benz body shells, or today he's running his Honda NSX body shell.
Simon
Acura, if you're an American.
Michael Game.
So our starting order for this and our
Adam
Super
Wyndham.
GTs, we've got Speedy off 1, Gavin on 2, Ryan on 3, Richard Price on 4, Adam Wyndham on 5, Adam Croy on
Mark
6,
Richardson.
Bradley Mohanan on 7, Michael Game on 8, Simon Turnbull on 9, and our 10th spot is being rounded out by Mark
Ryan
Richardson.
Powney.
Mark's a new name to the class, and so is Michael Game. We'll need to catch up with him. Bradley Monahan,
Gavin
he ran
Dawson.
at our recent nationals earlier in the year, did incredibly well for himself, doing well and enjoying the experience of our event. Just getting the guys set into their marshalling spots. Marshals from the GTB main, which if we get 20 cars like we did this time around, we'll show that next time. We'll show the B mains in our next episodes from our June standard race meeting. And just while we're waiting, we've also got our pizza round coming up this month as well in June. Stay tuned for more details on that on our socials. We've got our last of our cars getting in position there. Speedy with his Tamiya, which has got every conceivable option on it. Closely followed by Gavin Dawson in his spec phaser. Right, here we go. Going down to the final 10.
Driver's going to get this one underway. Soon as I...
Maybe. If race control pushes the button correctly.
All right, try this one.
10.
Here we go.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
That's beep beep, and we're off. Speedy leading the way from his P1 position. Very similar starting to how he was in 21.5. And his Super GT is a rapid machine. It is very quick. Oh, he's just caught the barrier there. It's allowed Gavin to keep up on his back bumper as they go across the stripe for the first full lap. Ryan Pony holding on to that 3 spot. Adam Wyndham up into the 4. Richard Price in the 5. Richard running an Audi R8, all red with a black wing, nicely presented. Going across the stripe now. And the other one who's got a very well presented car, which I don't think the camera's quite picking it up today just due to the light, is Adam Croy. He's running an old school Nissan Skyline, I believe it is, from the 60s, the original Nissan Skyline, immaculately presented with flares, boot tail, done in a beautiful silver, metallic silver with all the window trimmings, window wipers, mirrors, the whole 9 yards, BBS style wheels. Looks like a real cool piece of kit. That's just a standard Kyosho phaser underneath it that you can buy from your local hobby store and come racing with. Gavin's car a little further up the track. He's running an NSX body shell. And his is basically standard as well. There's a few, I don't think he's done too many mods apart from altered the gear ratios to make it competitive. He's running the Kyosho G27 motor. There's a bit of a mess out on the track at the moment with some cars needing to be marshaled just after the stripe. Speedy still leading the way. 11.187 is his fastest lap. Ryan drops down into the 7 spot. Michael Game is in the 10. Simon Turnbull's holding down 9. So we've got Speedy in 1, Gavin in 2, Adam in 3, Richard in 4. Just coming up to the halfway stage now. Speedy's done 11.147. Whereas Gavin, I'll just try and pick up on what his fastest lap has been. When we tick over the next time he goes across the stripe, it should update. Yeah, 11.438. So a little slower there, 300ths of a second.
After 2 minutes 30
just goes to
seconds,
show how much
the
quicker
top
Speedy's
drivers are
car is.
Stephen
Adam
Lee in
Croy
first
holding down that
place,
6th spot.
followed by Gavin Dawson
Body
in
shells
second
definitely
place,
make a difference, even
followed
in
by
this
Adam
class.
Wyndham in third place.
A good body shell will help the handling of the car. Okay, so it looks like maybe there's been a problem there for Gavi. It looked like he might have needed to be marshaled. Yeah, he's dropped down the order quite considerably. Richard Price is now up into the 3. Adam Wyndham into the 2 spot. Speedy still holding on to that 1. Gavin holding into 8 spot at the moment, unfortunately. And no change for Adam Croy yet. So Speedy leading the way. Richard in the 2nd spot. Adam Wyndham in the 3. Bradley Monahan in the 4. Good little battle going on out on the track. Just trying to pick up on where Speedy is at the moment. He's making it. Oh, there's some cars caught up in the barrier there. There's some back markers just making some work difficult for themselves. These cars, once you've had a bit of an off, it's very hard work to make up any lost ground. In saying that, Gavin's made 1 spot. So he's moving back up. We've got a minute 25 to run. He's got Bradley Fair in his sights at the moment. I'll just try and pick up Bradley's car. I believe his car is the real dark blue one, which has just gone around the hairpin now down the back straightaway. Richard Price has just gone across the stripe as well. So these cars can run a myriad of body shells, not just GT, but as our class name says, Super GT. You can also run any scale representation of a touring car of any era. So you can run a vintage Trans Am body shell. you can run an old school touring car. So like if you can find one, a Sierra body shell or a BMW M3 or a Commodore or that sort of thing. As long as it's a licensed scaled appearance body shell, you can run it. The only thing this class doesn't allow for is body shells that are not fair representation of a genuine race car. So we've got 20 seconds left on the clock to go. This class is evolving all the time with changes to the rules now to allow some modifications to your suspension, drivetrain, and that sort of thing,
9, 8,
freeing them up to make sure that they're
7,
tunable.
5, 4,
Definitely
3,
does help. So we've got
2,
final 2
1.
seconds left on the clock. Speedy's
Gavin
going to take
Dawson
this one
done.
quite comfortably from Adam Wyndham in the 2
Stephen Lee
spot,
done.
Richard Price at 3,
Bradley
Ryan Pony
Monahan
4, and
done.
Gavin Dawson rounding
Adam
out
Wyndham
our
done.
5. How does that
Ryan
compare
Powney
for our
done.
drivers'
Mark
points? Super
Richardson
GT
done.
Drivers Series.
Richard Price
Speedy is
done.
leading the way with
Adam
395
Croy
points.
done.
Gavin Dawson
All
387.
drivers are
Ryan
finished.
Pony 372.
Simon
Adam
Turnbull
Croy
done.
369.
The race
Scott
is
Wells
completed.
279. And Bradley Monahan is 262. So thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more information of our meetings coming up on our socials, and we'll see you at the trackside.